Hey everyone, I'm Doc, and this is my rewatch of The Lord of the Rings. Okay, if you just watched the last episode, I really just couldn't help myself. I really went off on the whole opening sequence once again. I think this episode is going to be quite a bit shorter, so let's get right to it. We are at minute 38:24, and I'm going to go ahead and start playing now. There's the ring. They're still discussing the ring. Oh, he loves the close-ups, pushing in.
Sauron was destroyed.
Come to think of it, doesn't it seem a little strange that he knows about Sauron? Maybe not. I don't know.
His orcs have multiplied. His fortress of Barad-dûr is rebuilt in the land of Mordor. Sauron needs only this ring to cover all the lands that are sick of darkness. He's seeking it. Thought is bent.
Just a lot of explanation for why Bilbo has to take the ring. Or, not Bilbo, Frodo, obviously, sorry.
All right. We put it away. We keep it hidden. We never speak of it again. No one knows it's here, do they? Do they, Gandalf?
There is one other who knew that Bilbo had the ring. I looked everywhere for the creature Gollum, but the enemy found him first. I don't know how long they tortured him. Amidst the endless screams and inane babble.
Referencing Gollum. This is a good way to introduce him. I'm not too upset about that little cutaway.
Baggins. But that would lead them here. Take it, Gandalf.
Okay, I'm going to stop there after that Ichabod Crane cutaway that we just had. Yeah, so I think a couple of these early scenes we're really seeing the young Peter Jackson. We're seeing his roots in the horror genre. That scene, that cutaway, that could have been out of, I don't know, Scream 3. It's just, he's just really playing up the genre kind of schlocky horror elements, which doesn't fit in with the epic scale of this fantasy story, but he probably just couldn't help himself. I don't really hate on him for that so much as just he just really doesn't know how to handle the writers. These cutaways are so generic. They're not like telling us anything about the writers or who they are or why we should be scared of them. They're just saying you should be scared of them because they ride around in dark cloaks and they cut off people's heads or, you know. I actually think it kind of underplays how evil these writers really are. And it's kind of unfortunate. They just become this kind of gimmick of, you know, of something to chase Bilbo through these early scenes. And as we move forward, it's not going to get better. This whole sequence with the writers, with one exception, there's one scene in all of what we're about to see that I did think was well made. Everything else is so just, I'm going to use the word cheap. Not cheap in terms of the budget, but just cheap in terms of it seems like it's taken from, you know, a cheesy horror movie, the kinds of movies that Peter Jackson obviously grew up on, and that's great. It's the same kind of thing that Quentin Tarantino did. He took the, you know, the movies that he grew up, the grindhouse movies, the cheap action movies that you'd see at drive-ins, and he turned them not only into, you know, the Grindhouse films, but all of his movies kind of take from them and that aesthetic, and he's able to create like kind of a modern aesthetic built around it. You know, Peter Jackson should be afforded the same opportunity, but for me, just the writers are never given the weight that they deserve. They're just, you know, B movie villains. And when I say it like that, it sounds like I mean villains that are actually giant bees, and maybe that would have been better than what we got. So anyway, I'm really not digging the direction that we're going right now, and so I'm just going to end my rant here. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll hopefully see you guys next time.